Today, I have a 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5 with the long bed. And it has just under 40,000 miles. Now you guys know I have this 28-foot race trailer. So today we're going to be doing some towing tests. Now in the first video today, I'm going to be showing you guys just how much payload we'll have left over when I hook up to the truck. Now, I took all the stuff that was here and I put it all in the rear. Now the reason why I did that was because all that weight up here adds probably about 300 pounds or so to the hitch. Adding it back there, it should take a little bit off the tongue, which should give us just enough, I guess, capacity maybe? Maybe. We're gonna be close today. And you're gonna see that in the video because we're gonna go to the cat scale, which is down the street. So we do have a class 4 hitch, 2-inch opening. We have a 7 and 4 pin here. And let's check out the numbers on the door. Here is the gross axle rating out back. It's gonna be 3,860 pounds. They should have just matched it to what it is on the front, which is 4,080 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is gonna be 7,340 pounds. And it only has 1,355 pounds minus this 11 here. So it's really 1,344 pounds. So yeah, even with a base model truck, I mean, it has really no frills. It still only has less than 1,400 pounds payload. And Toyota is probably the best when it comes down to doing the basic truck look, because this truck looks basic. And when you step up from this to a limited, it's a huge jump. A lot of hard plastics. And this truck doesn't have a lot of frills. Like, even for towing, there's no menu in here for temperatures, really. I mean, they have the analog ones, but I like to see oil temperature. I like to see everything in a summary with the actual number where it's at. But no big deal. Backup cameras right here. And it's really clear too, by the way. So all you gotta do is just kind of back up to the trailer. I was pretty much already there. But yeah, basic. Now, one huge advantage that Toyota has is they know their trucks squat a lot. So they give you this guy here to level up those headlights. So if you do tow at night, that's a huge advantage with the Toyota Tundra, because you can pretty much go from 0 all the way to 5. So pretty much 5 levels to really get those headlights dialed in if you start to blind people with that extra hitch weight. Now let's go ahead and measure, and then we'll drop down the weight. So here's the first measurement, 38 5/8. Welcome to towing with a Toyota Tundra. That's over 3.5 inches of a drop. And that's only about 1,300 pounds of hitch weight in that ballpark, guys. It's not that much, but I guess it is for a half ton. But yeah, Toyota Tundras, if you can get the air suspension on the higher trim levels, just get that, because it will save you a lot of headache. Let's go see if it's on the bump stops. You guys see right there? Probably about 4 to 6 inches away from the axle, so we're close. But you guys see how far away that 7 pin is? Like, there's a, I mean, that's probably about 6 inches right there. If you don't have a long enough 7 pin or 4 pin, whatever you use, you may have to get a shorter hitch. So just keep that in mind on these Toyota Tundras. I learned that the hard way on the last testing I did. The last one I did had air suspension, and so this is a good test for me because now I get to see just how well this truck does without it. So here's the menu that popped up when I started the truck. Just says trailer detected, and it turns off parking sensors and rear cross traffic alert. I think that's what that stands for. And let's see what else they have. They have this guy. So it shows you the gain of your trailer. So let's go ahead and just add 3.5 right there. Boom. Now let's go ahead and pull it. Ready? Okay. Pretty good. It says 0 to 4,999 pounds. I wonder what that means. Interesting. Because we're towing a lot more than that. One negative thing about this truck is you cannot push the chair up and down. So unfortunately, if you are short like I am, well, I'm not short, I'm 6'1", but if you have a short torso like me, it almost feels like I need like another inch or two to like be able to see a little bit better. But it is what it is. And I will say, this truck here, wow, there's a trailer back there for sure. There is a trailer. I'm a little nervous about this one, but we have a longer bed, which means a little bit more wheelbase, which should help with towing. But yeah, the suspension is pretty much maxed out. But let's go ahead and get it weighed, and then I'll show you guys the numbers in my spreadsheet. So here are the numbers. Man, if they just would put that 4,080 pound axle in the back, we would just be right there. But it is what it is. These are the numbers. Let's go ahead and put it all in the spreadsheet. Currently, Larry H. Miller Super Ford has this truck for sale at $41,994, and unfortunately their window sticker does not work on the website. I did pull the Carfax and it's not on here either, but no accidents, one owner, personal use, and they drove just over 19,000 miles a year, and it was in Nevada basically for most of his life. So here are all the numbers for the CAT scale, and then these are the numbers for the truck. Now before we go through this, I want to show you guys something with Toyota. Anytime you plan on towing with a Toyota Tundra, you have to go to this sticker on the door, and you have to find this code right here, this VXKA76L PRUSZA. So what you have to do is you have to go to the owner's manual to find that code. Now, one thing I always point out when I do tests on Toyota Tundra, I like how it says under the trailer towing guide, under the owner's manual on page 184, your vehicle is designed primarily as a passenger and load carrying vehicle. So they're basically saying you can tow with it, but you're really not supposed to. I'm just kidding, they're not saying that. I'm just making that up. But they're kind of saying that, hey, primarily this truck should be used just for passengers and maybe occasional things in the bed. So here is this guide that shows you the gross combined weight rating, and I think this is trailer weight rating too. So on page 189, so we got to look for that code that I just showed you guys. So I think it's this one right here, VXKA76L PRUSZA. So it's showing the gross combined weight rating, which is truck and trailer, at 17,250. And then we have 11,010 pounds for trailer weight. So just keep those things in mind here. Let's go ahead and jump back into the spreadsheet. You guys pretty much know how I got all these numbers now for the truck. So curb weight is basically taking the gross vehicle weight rating and the payload and subtracting to get this number. Now, if you know how heavy your truck is and subtract it from here, that's how you know how to get your payload. Okay, so on the CAT scale weigh-in, I showed it to you guys on my phone. The front axle was 2,980 pounds. So anytime you add weight to the rear of the hitch, that weight is going to transfer back to the rear gross axle. So unfortunately, if Toyota would decide to use the same axle, as I said earlier, guess what? We would have been under on the rear gross axle. There's no way to upgrade that at all. It's very silly on Toyota's part. Again, they tell you this truck is not really for towing. It's really just for passengers and occasional load. Now, with that being said, believe it or not, we were under on the gross vehicle weight rating. So curb weight was the truck on the curb. Gross vehicle weight is 7,000 pounds. So if you add these two numbers together, 7,000 pounds. So we are under the gross vehicle weight rating, which means we only have 340 pounds of payload left. We're also under on the gross combined weight rating as well. I did a towing test with a GMC, and I believe that that was the only truck that I exceeded the gross combined weight rating. So we're under on that number there. Now, my trailer, if you consider, this is what the trailer axle was on the CAT scale. If you add the hitch weight, it's about 9,500 pounds. So I've done multiple tests. You guys have seen where the hitch weight's like 1,300, 1,500, 1,100, 1,200. Now it's like 1,000. Now I'm pretty much rounding it off. The truck does not have a full tank of fuel. So that's why
the gross vehicle weight seems a little low. Now I am inside the truck, but I have probably like a little less than half a tank of fuel. So if it were filled up, this number would probably be a little bit higher. So I'm just going to assume that the hitch weight's about here, because this is about what my trailer weighs, 9,500 pounds basically. I put all the stuff like the generator and the extra wheels and tires in the back of the trailer to offset the hitch weight too, so just keep that in mind. So this Toyota Tundra is actually the perfect truck if it had the same axle here, because this trailer would be technically too heavy for a half ton. I would say that anyone looking to tow a 28-foot trailer like this with this weight, I would venture to say a 3/4 ton minimum. But I only do these tests because this trailer does sit low. It has spread axles. So when I tow it behind even half tons, it does tow really well because I'm only doing it for 30 minutes. If I was doing it for 2-3 hours, fatigue would kick in a lot quicker compared to an HD truck. So just keep these things in mind when you are considering towing.
So I just fixed the brake. So they have electric 0 to 5,000 pounds and then 5,000 pounds plus. So that's what we're going to use there. And we are pretty much all set up on that screen. So the way this system works, and it's just a little different. If you want your trip, I guess I have to reset it so that it matches this one. So what I'll do is I'm going to pull over here, stop the truck, start it again, and then we'll go ahead and do the next test. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you guys like the video, if you like this content, support it. I'm all locked in. Now I got to get all my cameras ready to go, and we're going to get down the road. See you guys in the next video.